not our presentation.
So I wanted to get a few sports thoughts in before we jump right back into what we were working on last time. Sound good? Okay. This Kyrie Irving situation in Brooklyn is just wild. Now, for those of you that don't know, Kyrie Irving, basketball all-star point guard for the Brooklyn Nets, is a little off. Can we use off on here? We'll go with off. He's off. He's absolutely convinced the world is flat and essential oils heal all wounds, yet has only played about 50 games in the last 3 seasons. Not 50 games in each of the last 3 seasons, 50 games total over the last 3 seasons. Now, to put that in perspective, there are 82 games in a regular season in basketball. There you go. He was spotted before a game against Boston lighting sage on the famous parquet floor. He has seemingly completely abandoned his Brooklyn's teammates, including fellow All-Star Kevin Durant. And most recently, he no-showed in the middle of a pandemic to show up supposedly without a mask at a kid's birthday party. Listen, the guy is an incredible talent. One of the sickest handles I've seen in basketball. But he's officially become more trouble than he's worth. Especially now that they have James Harden. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm looking to cut bait with this guy ASAP. And if I'm one of the teams looking to trade for Kyrie Irving, I'm looking at how his time in Cleveland ended, how his time in Brooklyn ended, how his time in Boston is going, and I'm going into this thing asking all kinds of questions. Chief being among them, how do you feel about visiting China? I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this next opinion, but as you probably noticed in my last episode, I don't care about people giving me flack for my opinion. I do want to preface by saying this. I've seen a lot of good quarterbacks come and go. Some of the absolute best ever. Elway, Marino, Favre, Steve Young, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning. All greats in their own right. And up until recently, I'd considered Joe Montana to be the greatest of them all. His poise, his command of the offense, his ability to dissect a defense under intense pressure, all the stuff of legend. I say up until recently because, and here's the trigger warning, I think Tom Brady may have surpassed him. Take a look at what he's been able to do this season at age 43. He's older than I am. Brand new offense, brand new head coach. It's something that does not happen in football. Even if Tampa Bay doesn't win the big game, and this was recorded a week before the big game, so who knows if they've won or lost, Tom Brady has to be in the conversation as one of the top 3 quarterbacks of all time. He has certainly got my vote, haters be damned. Speaking of quarterbacks, there seems to be a general consensus that there are going to be a lot of potential changes at the quarterback position throughout the entire NFL. Not just minor changes here and there, I mean widespread, game-changing, landscape-altering changes. Already, and this just in with late-breaking news, you have Detroit trading Matthew Stafford to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Goff and 3 future draft picks, 2 of which being first-rounders. Matt Ryan could potentially be on his way out in Atlanta. Chicago could be on the market looking for a more viable solution at that position. Dallas and Denver could both be in the mix as well, even if it costs Dallas their current guy in Dak Prescott. Aaron Rodgers has hinted that the end may be near for him in Green Bay. Drew Brees has intimated that he's played his last game in the NFL. And even if he hasn't, New Orleans still has to figure out what to do with both Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. Philadelphia may be looking to move on past the Carson Wentz era. San Francisco may be dangling Jimmy Garoppolo like a carrot in front of an unsuspecting bunny. Tom Brady may be playing his last game coming up. I mean, especially if he wins. What better way to cement your legacy as the GOAT than to go out on top? The Washington somethings will likely be buyers in the market. Indianapolis is now in the market after the retirement announcement from Phillip Rivers. Jacksonville looking to move on past the Gardner Minshew era. What an era that was. The Patriots looking to potentially part ways with Cam Newton. Pittsburgh looking to possibly part ways with Ben Roethlisberger. And of course there's the Jets. Enough said. Which brings me to the wild card of this entire situation. Young, up-and-coming Houston Texans quarterback, at least as of this recording, he's still the quarterback for the Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson. Frustrated over mismanagement of the team and the way he and others have been on the team have been handled, Watson recently asked for a trade off the team. Where he lands could very well be the second domino to fall, the first, of course, being the Stafford-Goff trade. What would the Texans do? Would they dare trade him in division to the needy Colts or even to the Jaguars in exchange for the first overall pick and first crack at either Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson? Could they trade him to New England for Cam Newton and picks? Would they be petty enough to send him to football purgatory in New York? Would they be willing to bring on a Carson Wentz or Matt Ryan just to get him out of the AFC? Or, as a security, as a insurance policy, that's the word I'm looking for, would they look to get Taysom Hill and some draft picks from New Orleans? One thing is for certain, the changes are already happening throughout the NFL, and the landscape at the quarterback position could look dramatically different come September.
On that, our presentation.